Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today I'm going to be going over my normal schedule, which is Rayblock's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. All of those in a more detailed technical analysis in that order on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities or 5-hour return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio, you can find both of those things in my premium content, and I'll have a link to that in the description of this video. And if you want to start trading altcoins, make sure to check out Binance. I have a link to them in the description as well. Also, go follow me on Twitter if you want to get live cryptocurrency market updates. And let's get started with the general market update here. So what we've been seeing over the past 24 hours is a lot of cryptocurrencies that are stabilizing, I would say. And the key here is to realize that, of course, the word, stability in crypto is kind of tricky because it's a volatile playing field to begin with. But the fact of the matter is, right now we're kind of mixed. We can see that some of them are a little bit in the red, some of them are a little bit in the green, right? Stellar is doing pretty well here. And basically, even if it's a little bit mixed, at least the percentage changes are pretty tame right now, right? Compared to what we saw just a few days ago when it was still very chaotic. So that's a good thing, and if you watch my previous video, I mentioned how I think we're ready to slowly but surely move back up. I still believe in that. Looks like a lot of cryptocurrencies are just consolidating a little bit here. But overall, I think that, yes, the big volatility at least kind of slowed down, and now we're just going to see these, little increases, maybe little drops here and there, with some consolidation in between. But overall, we should be heading higher, right? And let's get started with the technical analysis of Rayblock's. By the way, I am going to be adding Stellar probably to the daily crypto updates very soon. So just wanted to let you know about that. But let's take a look at XRB here, Rayblock's, and see what's been going on. So Rayblock's stabilized a lot here over the past few days and finally got a nice little boost here. If we look at the indicator, I know that it's not very clear. That's because I'm on KuCoin. The actual graph is not on TradingView just yet, but basically we peaked right above the 70 line and now dropped back below that, which isn't the best signal. And we're probably going to be moving a little bit lower here, maybe back towards the maybe the blue line. I would say more likely would be the orange line right here. But what's key to think about here is that we got a nice volume boost as well. Finally crossed back over on the MACD, and really what's important here is at least we got a boost that really pushed us out of the short-term downtrend, which is really all we need right now. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go back up right away. I think that we're probably going to pull back a little bit, maybe consolidate a little bit more, but at least we're out of this, pretty strong short-term downtrend. There is one key thing to realize as well, is that if we zoom out a bit, we can see that we're still, as far as a little bit longer-term downtrend is concerned, still downtrending there. So definitely not out of the woods yet until we get back above that, and really, we still need to get back above 170,000 satoshis, even 220,000 satoshis, to really get out of this downslope here. As you can see, it was pretty massive, and we're nowhere near where we were before. But at least we're finally seeing it kick back a little bit in the short term. There's still a lot of selling volume pressure for Rayblock's, just because a lot of going on with the exchanges and stuff like that. Also some drama with BitGrail, so I wouldn't be surprised to continue to see some selling pressure until the Binance listing really is kind of what I expect to see. And seeing how things are going, I'm not even sure that we'll get a very big spike once we hit Binance. Maybe not right away, it is possible. I think that now it's looking more like when we get on Binance, maybe a slight increase, but probably a month or two. What I've seen is a lot of cryptocurrencies that get added on Binance really start increasing a lot after, like I said, a month or two after getting on Binance. So I think Rayblock's might be in a similar situation there. And let's take a look at Bitcoin now, see what Bitcoin has been up to. So Bitcoin is slowly here trying to climb higher and push out of its downtrend line, which is actually managing to do that pretty successfully. Of course, right now it's still kind of testing and peaking slightly above that downtrend line. We really want to make sure that we cleanly break out of that and start to move back towards that $12,788 level, which I do think will happen over the next week or two. And if we look at the indicators, it is looking very good here. We have the RSI out of the downtrend, the histogram about to go positive, and we're about to cross over above the orange line on the MACD. That'll be a very strong signal, which should tell us that we're basically ready to move back up, get out of the downtrends. And what's key here is that we already tested that orange line once and failed. So usually the second time around it is a successful crossover. Let's take a look now at Ethereum and see how Ethereum has been doing throughout all of this. Now, Ethereum is in a pretty similar situation as Bitcoin. The only difference is that it already exited its short-term downtrend line here, as you can see. Now, right now it's consolidating right below basically its big resistance level at $1,094. Once we break above that, a little bit more resistance near $1,150 and a little bit more resistance near 1,300, but basically we'll be back to the previous highs at that point, right? So less resistance for Ethereum here. It just needs to get back above 1,094 and also ideally above the middle band, right? That's at $1,136, the brown line right here, which carried the price really throughout the whole uptrend. And it looks like we're about to cross above the downtrend line. Histogram and MACD slowly but surely coming back up as well. Let's take a look now at Litecoin, see what Litecoin has been up to. So Litecoin is still in its consolidation pattern here. Very flat candlesticks, not the best thing compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin, but at least it's not falling, right, which is already good. And I think that it's going to break out of the downtrend line as well here, so I'm not too worried about it either way. It's just doing it in a different manner than Bitcoin and Ethereum. What may happen is if it stays, very flat like this, we may horizontally break through the downtrend line, not really get a big spike just yet, but we have to see until we really break out of the downtrend line what's going to happen. Either way, we still have a bit of resistance at $218. Once we break above that, we'll pretty much be back to bullish standing. And indicators looking pretty good here, right? Uptrending on the histogram, broke out of the downtrend line on the RSI. That is still pretty flat there though. And the MACD is slowly but surely kind of taking its time here, but it is flattening out, and hopefully we'll see a crossover above the orange line. I do think that will happen. It just seems like it may be a little bit slower than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's take a look now at Ripple and see how Ripple has been acting over the past 24 hours. So it looks like Ripple attempted to break out of the uptrend line. It failed that, and now we managed to actually break out of the uptrend line, but we did so in, the downtrend line, but we did so in a bit of a weird manner, right? Because we kind of horizontally broke through it, even dropped a little bit, and what happened is we broke out of the downtrend line, which is very good, right? This really created a pretty nasty drop since several days ago, pushed us all the way back down to $1 basically, right? We were at $3, and now though what happened is we broke out of the downtrend line, which is very good, but we also fell below the short-term uptrend line, which isn't the best sign. And what that tells me is that, we could see a relatively slow but steady increase back to $1.50 and hopefully break back above that. I think that we may see a little bit of consolidation here based on what happened with this little break of the downtrend line where we actually lost the uptrend line support, right? Probably going to see some consolidation here still just a little longer, maybe one more week until we're actually ready to start moving higher. And if you look at the indicators, that makes sense, right? Because we're not that close to going positive just yet, but it is uptrending. The RSI is flattening out, and especially if you look at the MACD, it is slowly but surely hooking back over, but it still has some room to really start to round back up, right? And that's what we're waiting on until we get that nice boost in price, basically. So the crossover of the MACD will be very key there. And now let's move over to our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be NEO. And let's take a look at what NEO has been doing. So NEO is actually looking decent here. Broke out of its short-term downtrend. I will go ahead and draw that in. So nice breakout there, and what we're currently experiencing is just some resistance at $139. So that was the previous support level, obviously acting as resistance right now. And we are trading, we're still above our uptrend line, we're still above the middle band as well, so those are two very good signs. And this drop was, basically just a pullback towards the uptrend line. So we're still uptrending here overall, which is not the case for certain cryptocurrencies out there after the big drop. And we're starting to kick back up on the MACD slowly but surely, same thing on the histogram. We're out of the RSI downtrend, even moving higher now towards that 60 line. So I think that, probably within the next couple of days, we'll be moving higher back towards $150 here for NEO. So definitely looking good here, and it has been one of the stronger cryptocurrencies. I think that's going to continue, very similar to Ethereum in that sense that they've both been pretty strong throughout the drop and just in general here, they've been acting really well. Let's take a look at Vertcoin and see what Vertcoin has been up to. So Vertcoin is in its symmetrical triangle formation, a little bit towards the higher range of that, which is good, and it looks like we may have gotten a crossover. I need to zoom in a bit. It looks like we have gotten the beginning of a crossover of the blue line on the MACD moving above the orange line, which is a very bullish signal because we haven't done that since quite some time. Same thing on the histogram, right? About to cross over into the positive zone, and we're uptrending on the RSI. So finally got out of those bearish signs as far as the indicators are concerned. So we're bullish here on the indicators. And the price looks like we're going to break above $5, basically. I think that should happen within the next 2-3 weeks. Break above $5 and moving back towards $6.36. Let's take a look now, and I'm sure a lot of you will be happy of that because I know there's a lot of Vertcoin fans on this channel. And, you know, I'm very neutral on all cryptocurrencies. But the fact of the matter is that Vertcoin was really struggling here for a while, and it's finally looking like it's going to be kicking back up. So I'm sure a lot of you are happy about that. And let's take a look at Monero now, see what Monero has been up to. It looks like Monero is actually looking pretty decent here. Finally starting to slowly but surely come back up on the indicators. Nothing too significant yet. Mainly, though, the price action is really good because we broke out of the downtrend line, and I think we should pretty quickly be moving back up to $350. Probably going to be able to break above that and get back into our range here between $350 and $416. Let's go over to our next cryptocurrency of the crypto update, which is going to be, let's see, Lisk here up next, and see how Lisk has been doing. So Lisk is also broke out of its downtrend, now moving slowly but steadily up to $25, which is the previous resistance level. Also really starting to hook back on the MACD, same thing on the histogram, now coming back up, RSI as well. So the indicators are primed for a move higher, and I think we're going to be moving, even breaking above $25 in the next 2-3 weeks, probably getting back towards maybe even $30 here, at least the higher $20 range. Next up we have, let's see, OmiseGO, I believe, and I think I actually skipped out on OmiseGO, so let me go back over that and take a look at what OmiseGO has been doing. Looks like OmiseGO, it broke out of its downtrend, not finding that much strength here, but at least it's out of the downtrend, and the indicators are coming all back up as well, so those are looking good. Probably going to start moving back above $20 soon here within the next 2-3 weeks, maybe even towards $22. Let's take a look now at Cardano and see what Cardano has been up to. So Cardano is it actually broke below its uptrend line, and now what we see is that it broke out of the short-term downtrend line. So it's in a little bit of a tricky situation here where we have a very short-term uptrend line that created itself. The problem with what I see here is we broke out of a pretty significant uptrend line, right? This was a pretty long-term uptrend line, and at least the RSI is trying to flatten out a bit. The MACD is trying to flatten out a bit. I would want to see that a little bit more flat and really start to come back up, because what I see happening here is unless we get a nice big boost that pushes us back above the uptrend line, we're going to face a lot of resistance from that, and that means that we may still consolidate just a little bit longer in this area. Let's go over now to Lisk and see what Lisk has been up to. Let's go over to Lisk now. Sorry, Lisk, I'm messing up my order here a lot today. Let's go over to IOTA and see what IOTA has been doing. So IOTA is in its symmetrical triangle formation here, still in a bit of a downtrend. RSI the MACD still needs to flatten out a bit more here. It is coming back a little bit, but we do want to see that flatten out a bit more and start to come back towards that orange line. Looks like the RSI wants to cross over above the downtrend line, and overall we'll just have to wait and see here. But seeing how a lot of cryptocurrencies are looking decent, probably also going to see a move higher here for IOTA back towards $3 within the next 2 weeks, I think. So with that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this daily crypto update. Make sure to go check out my premium content. I posted a new cryptocurrency buying opportunity yesterday. It's actually doing pretty good, so it's not too late to get in. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching, everyone.